My name is Michelle Wolodarski, and today I will be discussing Nagel's ideas about the challenges of social sciences. The first type of challenge described in Nagel's article, called the value-oriented biases of social inquiry, is called selection. Selection can be described as scientists picking their topics of study based on what they deem to be socially important. This idea can be applied to an article called Prevalence of Depression During the COVID-19 Outbreak, a meta-analysis of community-based studies. Scientists chose to combine two very prevalent topics in today's society and then studied them. Nagel states that scientists focusing on topics important to them should not cause a significant loss in objectivity. The second type of challenge described in Nagel's article is called ideological biases. Ideological biases can be described as the idea that data can be affected by any societal biases a scientist may have. For the article I chose, a potential bias could be that the study was done under the PRISMA guidelines. If those guidelines were made with any sort of biases, then the whole experiment would have those biases. Nagel used the scientific method in an attempt to avoid biases from the outside world. The third type of challenge is called fact and value dichotomy. Fact and value dichotomy can be explained as personal values and beliefs taking precedence over facts. Scientists' personal beliefs about mental well-being and depression could have influenced how the data in this experiment was interpreted. The article states that our pooled prevalence of 25% appears to be 7 times higher, thus suggesting an important impact of the COVID-19 outbreak on people's mental health. Nagel would consider this to be a problem because scientists are more likely to agree with data that already supports their existing line of thinking. The scientist has assigned value to the judgments made for the data found during the study. Nagel would have described this as a truth-based descriptor because the article has placed value on the judgment in order to draw a conclusion. The last challenge described in Nagel's article is called bias in statistics. This concept can be described as the possibility that data may be presented in a way that supports potential interests of the scientist instead of reflecting the full truth of the situation. For the experiment described in the article from earlier, the experiment was funded by the Spanish Ministry of Economy and Competitiveness, which is responsible for making Spain a more competitive force for other countries. This could serve as a potential bias that affected how the data in the experiment was interpreted. Because of outside forces, the data in the experiment may not reflect the full truth of the situation.